This book is a separate book. It's made from the chapter I'm going to read to you. The chapter is about 7 pages long. This book's about 100 pages long. If you want to know somebody who has the right attitude, Captain Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind. Watch him, and you'll know how to be the man with the right attitude. The quote at the beginning of a picture of NBA logo Jerry West. They called you Mr. Clutch. Seconds left. Behind by 1. You wanted the ball. Year after year, you made those pressure cooker game winners. How'd you do it? Jerry West. I tried to remember it's just a game. That's right. It's just a game. The right attitude. Without the right attitude, you won't get anywhere. Even if you're slim and trim, looking good, living in the right complex, driving a beige Jag, listening to her music, working in a new company, partying with young friends, and dating 34-year-olds. You won't get anywhere unless you have the right attitude. Young women are attracted to a man who won't kiss ass. They're strongly drawn by indifference, feigned or real. She will date you, an older man, only if you are friendly, aloof, relaxed, powerful, and confident. That applies to young men too, okay? It's the same for every man alive. Women don't want you kissing their ass. They want you to be a man. Your unspoken attitude is, I'm the catch here. I'm not going to chase you. Sure, I'm friendly. I'm friendly with all the girls. Yeah, I'm somewhat interested. That's your attitude. You got to radiate that. Weeks later, at your place, sitting on the couch, she's resisting. You radiate the right attitude. Here's what you radiate. No big deal, we will. I'm not in a hurry. Let's watch some more TV. Finally spoken, your attitude is, no, I have plans tonight. Look, I've said this before. I don't want anyone coming over here without calling first. Please don't do it again. What? Yeah, I'll call you. Mr. Clutch's attitude. If you ever caught one of his interviews, you saw the right attitude. Jerry West was friendly, relaxed, and slow. He was not impressed with himself or his ability. To him, it was just a fact, simply the truth. He was the best. To most people, he seemed humble. He wasn't. He was confident, genuinely confident. He's that way today. If you see him today, interviewed, he works for the Clippers now. That'll teach him. 2 kinds of advice. I don't offer useless advice like, don't be afraid. Selling books or running dating boot camps with idiotic counsel like that is fraud. There's no hidden button you can push and become unafraid. If there were, I'd push it right there. There it is. Stop being afraid. Of course you're scared. It's all new. The rules are unknown. You might get slapped or even laughed at. I did a workshop. I had 6 girls and about 25 guys. It was a 1-day workshop, and I had the girls say why they didn't walk over and introduce themselves to men. And one girl says, I'm afraid he'll laugh at me or point me out to everybody in the room. And I said, that's exactly what we're afraid of. She said, really? And every guy in the room goes, yeah. So we educated her that day. When first meeting and talking with a young woman, I'm always excited and slightly nervous. I'm not completely confident now and never expect to be. I'm preaching reality. You'll never pick up girls by the truckload, and neither will Weber or any Cretan who tries his opening lines. The best opening line is on my YouTube channel. My advice is simply to tell you what the right attitude is, then explain how you begin to develop it. You'll never get there completely, since development is an ongoing, never-ending process. You only get better, never perfect. To get better, you got to make mistakes. Remember that. Of all the lessons you get from me and all these audios, you can't get better unless you make mistakes. Don't worry about making mistakes. They're a pain in the ass. It's humiliating. It hurts, embarrassing. So what? That's how you learn. Figure out what the fuck should I have said and what I did say. What should I have done instead of what I did? You'll figure it out. Step 1, feeling like an equal. Developing the right attitude begins with the belief and deep inner feeling you are the equal of young people. If you think your age makes you better, you won't get anywhere. If you feel inferior to youth, you will be. This applies to young men. If you think you're so fucking cool, she can't turn you down, you will get turned down. Women do not like arrogance. They like confidence. When you doubt your equality, she will pick up on that and turn you down. She wants a relaxed, confident man. Achtung! You will follow orders as given in Young Friends. Being around youth day and night lets you see, feel, and believe they're not much different than you. You've just had more birthday parties. Took me a while to get that. Sure is true. My first step. Long ago and far away in another life, I decided to go after some young stuff. I was 40 pounds overweight, couldn't run around the block, and had a corner office with ulcer. I dressed in polyester, wore sideburns and a mustache, drove a Coupe de Ville, lived in the Heights, listened to dentist office music, married and unhappy. I felt old, acted old, thought old, was old. In fact, I was 32 going on 52. I felt inferior to youth. They had both males and females, something magical, something I'd lost half a life ago. I wanted it back. Deeply fearing I'd be rejected and laughed at, I forced myself. I began at work, going out of my way to say hello and be friendly with anyone under 35. Eventually, I made friends with a 22-year-old receptionist. Within weeks, she introduced me to many other young people. 6 months later, I was running 10Ks with some dudes from work. A month later, I was drinking beer with them at their parties where I met and talked to females 18 to 25. I didn't get anywhere. I was afraid to try. But just by talking with these young women and young men, I grew accustomed to the youth. I was able to relax in their presence. After a few months, I realized they weren't superior to me, but by Jesus, they were superior to older females. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A few months later, I was able to approach and have secret pure sex affairs with several young women at the office. As you know, by now, they were with me because I was married, not in spite of it, but at least I got started. Somehow, some way, you have to get started and end up feeling like an equal too. Maybe you didn't hear it in the earlier chapters, but young women go out with married men because they're married. They don't go out with them in spite of being married. They go out with them because they're unattainable and they know that they're just sex toys and I'm not going to get involved with them. I thought that would continue after I got divorced. It doesn't. Once you're single, you're in a different ballgame. Step 2, slow and easy. I'm never rock solid confident, even after all these years in the arena. You're never going to be completely confident either. So work on being slow. Confident people are not in a hurry, not pushy, not nervous or excited. Moving slowly and talking slowly at least gives the appearance of confidence. First impressions are lasting impressions. Take your time. Waiting to talk to her is not what I mean by taking your time. If you go into her work and she's busy, conduct your business with someone else and leave. You're confident. If not today, tomorrow. If not her, Stacy or Gina. 4 pearls, 3 at a minimum, ensures you maintain the right attitude. You don't know what a pearl is yet. A pearl is a woman you're courting but not yet dating. The more of them you have, the more confident and relaxed you are, because if one of them disappears, no big deal. But when you only have 1 or 2, one of them disappears, you really try too hard with the last one. Step 3, catch 22. It's just like trying to get your first real job, not the one as a box boy. Have you ever been assistant manager? You haven't? Sorry, we're only hiring experienced personnel. Here's the circular trap when trying to date young women. Success only comes from being relaxed and confident. Relaxation only comes from confidence. Confidence comes only from success. I'm going to say it again. This is how you become confident. Ready? Listen, pay attention. Success comes only from being relaxed and confident. Relaxation comes only from being confident. Confident comes only from being successful. I hope that penetrates. The campaign to gain self-assurance is done slowly. It's a 2-pronged attack. You are learning or relearning dating skills and building confidence in yourself as a man. There's only one way to learn, by doing and making mistakes to learn from. That sounds like a broken record, doesn't it? Because it is. That's the truth. You have to make mistakes to learn. So stop worrying about making mistakes. Go make some and learn from them. Therefore, you must start out pretending to be confident. Pretending to be confident. So you can be successful. Then you can relax because you're confident. You create the required self-sustaining positive feedback loop of success, confidence, relaxation, success, confidence, relaxation. You create the self-sustaining positive feedback loop of success, confidence, relaxation, success, confidence, and so forth. When you do what I explained in Women First, a preview. After you've been dating Maggie, 34, for a few months, you'll have the confidence needed to start courting Darlene, the night manager at the restaurant you've been going to for a month. After a few months, when you're dating Darlene, start working on Jean, the 23-year-old at Starbucks, and Kathy over there in payroll. You can only climb back down the ladder one rung at a time. The ladder is made up of age rungs. You remember the groups of young women come in, 21 to 24, 20 to 21, 19 to 20, 18, and impossible, and jailbait. Those are the rungs. Above the 21 to 24 is 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and over 45. Those are each an age rung. I got a lot of crap from feminists that it doesn't break down that way, but that's the way society treats women. That's the way they think of themselves. 29 is a disaster. 39 is even worse for women. We have a horrible time dealing with 40 as men. So you can only climb down one rung at a time. Begin with women, gradually working your way down to 20-year-olds. If you're a real masochist, you can keep going down until you're happy you can attract 18-year-olds. I had a great 6-month fling with Tina, but that's rare and it takes much time and effort. I think 22 is the perfect age. She's at the peak of her sexual drive. 22 has half the insecurity of a 20-year-old. It makes everything more enjoyable for you and her. A good fight manager builds his young boxer's experience slowly, not giving him pushovers, but never overmatching him. He doesn't want his boy to take a whooping and lose his confidence. He doesn't want him to have false confidence either. Build your confidence, don't crush it. Think about it, plan it, schedule it. Don't be in a hurry. Neither Rome nor Roberta were built in a day. Steel Ball's principle for all those who are learning or relearning dating. Start at the top of the age ladder and the bottom of the beauty scale. Let's just take a second and really explain that. When you're inexperienced and young, or you're divorced and you haven't been out with anybody for a long time, it's really hard to get a date when you don't know what you're doing or don't remember what you're doing for the divorce man. So this is the beauty scale right here. Let's put that right there. That girl's a 10. And down here is the age scale. This is a 45-year-old divorcee. A number 10 beauty, Playboy bunny, 45-year-old divorcee. And you start at this, you can't start up here. You got to start down here. This is the beauty scale, and this is the age scale. So you got to start down here in the beauty scale. Let's say this girl's a 3. And here you are looking at a 3. And she's, say, 35. So you go out with her, you get a little bit better. So you're up here, and you can move up a little bit. So you can go out with maybe a 33-year-old, a 32-year-old. Here's the steel ball principle everybody needs to remember. The younger the woman you're dating, the younger the next woman will be. The prettier the girl you're dating is, the prettier the next girl will be. Why does it work like that? Because your confidence goes up, and the girls out there see you with these women, and they say to themselves, I can get him. Okay, women are very competitive. If they see, let's say you started at a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, you're out with a 6, and she's 28. And so a girl like 26 and 25, that's better looking, says, I can get him. I can take him away from her. That's just the way they are. They're very competitive. They want to take you away. And I'm willing to be taken. Take me away. Have your way with me. Step 4, know when to fold them. Most of the right attitude is your willingness to walk away from her. You must do it, not imply it. In fact, this has to be your attitude the entire time you're in a relationship with her. Otherwise, she'll climb into the driver's seat. Much more later in Who's in Charge Here. I've been working on Marilyn for a couple of months. She was strongly interested and showed it by touching me often as we talked. She accidentally bumped me with her delightful tiny tits. I suggested a drink after work. She brought a teddy bear, Stephanie. The next week, we arranged another date. She didn't show. A few days later, she apologized with a weak excuse. She still touched me a lot with several body parts. I only smiled and waited. After a week, she asked me to Sunday brunch. I told her I was busy, which was the truth. The Raiders were on at 10, the Cowboys at 1. Maybe some other time. I gotta go. Don't be anxious or too interested. I probably would have gone to brunch if I had not been dating Tina. Then it would have not have turned out as it did. 2 weeks later, Marilyn asked to come over to my place just for one drink.